What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Heavy Wrench. Thanks for tuning in today. Today we are working on a Massey Ferguson or AGCO tractor, whichever you want to call it. The ring and pinion, I'm going to give you a close-up here. The four-wheel drive quit working. I went out there. This is what I found. The ring and pinion. The pinion is junk. So we're going to do a complete tear down of this and show you how I set them up, and we're going to be good from there. It's crazy, the ring gear just spins, the pinion's ground right down. But let's check that out. I don't know if you can see that well or not, but hopefully you can. What that pinion looks like. The light's washing it out. I'll try to zoom in here. There you go. See how there's no teeth left on that pinion? It's right smooth. Yeah, that's definitely the issue. But you can see, maybe you can see that, how that looks. So anyway, that's the problem. We're gonna take this apart, make sure everything's clean. We got the rest of the front axle all out of the tractor. And this is a 46, I'm gonna lie if I tell you the number of the tractor right now. I have to look it up, but I got all the parts here. I got the ring and pinion set, the shim set, everything's set, all here to go. And we're going to start disassembling this. So as you can see, there's a lot of metal was everywhere. That pinion just gone. So we'll check it out and see what we got and go from there. So first things first, I don't mind the shavings being on there when I disassemble because everything's going to be cleaned anyway. So I'm really not too worried about that. I just want to make sure that I get the right shim thicknesses, see where they come from, and this should be shimmed, this should be shimmed, and the carrier is actually okay. So let's see what we have. Now this might as well be a this might as well be a Kubota type situation because I believe, yep, everything's 12s. So we're going to get this tore apart. There's actually two jack bolts on this side of the bearing housing, which is kind of nice. Because then you can pull it out, press it in. I guess really didn't even need to do that. But there's the shims I was talking about, looking for. So yeah, this side, same deal. It's got nuts on it. Should grab one of my Easy Red containers for all this stuff. These washers off here. Come on, fingers, work. They ain't working today. It's too early for my fingers to start working. Oh boy. There we go. We'll put one of these jack bolts in there, jack bolt in there. Now I'll grab a little tub. See what happens here. Try not to push on them shims as much as I have to, you know. This side might actually need a pry bar here. Well, we'll use the jack bolts the rest of the way. It's nice when they give you jack bolts like that. And you know what? I wonder if it would work best without the lock washer to Oop, went down, hit my foot. I know where it's at. Maybe it's better to use the bolts without the washers, and you get that extra little bit. It might pop right out. We'll see here, won't we? That. 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 Let's see here. Yep. We're getting there. Probably should have grabbed a pry bar, but. So there is no shims on this side right now. This side had the shims. So we're going to turn this around. And we'll probably use these same two bolts because the washers are already off of them. Set that there like that. Pop this out. This out. The only thing I don't like about this side is when you use the jack bolts, you're actually pushing on. Nope, you're not pushing on the shims. They gave you a hole for the. They gave you a hole so you don't hit the shim. And these shims are, oh, look at that. That's the shims. They're only half shims. Isn't that nice? So you really don't. Well, that's weird, 2 and 1. I wonder if there was a thickness issue there. Grab a little hammer and tap, tap. See if we can't get that out real easy. Huh. Well, you're not getting it all the way out without pulling the dowel pin. Isn't that sweet? Now, can you get this out? We may have to pull this dowel pin to get it out. See this, how the dowel pin's hitting the housing. We may have to pop that dowel pin out, which that's a dead hole. It just goes into blank. So we shall see if we can get that out easy. Alright, pair of vice grips. Holy cow. I should have just grabbed it with a pair of pliers. So there's the dowel pin out. Came out way easier than I thought it was gonna. There it goes. No shims, no nothing. Keep that in mind. Now, there's our carrier. Looks like they got 2 cross pins. We're going to take this all the way apart. Check our splines. They look good on both sides, so do the shafts. So we'll lay that like that. And there's our pinion. I'll let you see that pinion shaft. Wild, huh? Well, look at this. That ring gear. It don't even look that bad. Still curious on why that did that. Like that. I don't know. It looks like it's been into before, but maybe not. I don't know if this silicone here. And there was this dent here and this dent here, which tells me that, oh, can't see that. This dent here tells me it's been apart once before. So I think this is number 2 time. So I don't have much factory references to go off of. So I'm going to be using the, I'm going to be setting it all the way up just with specs. So we're going to slide this. This is the mount right here that holds everything on. Grease. Couple O-rings, everything looks good there. There's our pinion nut. Ouch. Got a little metal sliver. Now I'm gonna cry. Let me shut off the camera while I cry about my metal sliver. I'm just gonna wash my hands. You guys are probably thinking, hey dummy, put some gloves on. I will. Right now. So we have what we call a conundrum, what I call a conundrum. We have a new nut here that I just bought, and it's about 46 millimeter. The 46 millimeter doesn't fit on that nut. That nut is smaller. So I don't know how this is going to pan out yet, but we'll find out. We're going to use the new Milwaukee impact here. Throw on a decent glove so you can hold that, all that metal shavings and pinion on the pinion. Generally, sometimes you'll be able to hold it by hand, sometimes not. Probably not on this one. So I'll get the old pry bar in there, see if we can hold it somehow. There's no teeth, right? So how the heck do you hold it? Looks like a good spot. We got it. All right. Good old Milwaukee. Now this nut's probably not bad, but I wonder if they upped the size of the pinion because of this. Not really sure. So we're gonna get that out. Looks like the seal is bushing. Oh baby, baby. Look at that. Ooh boy, look at those burns. I think what happened was the axle lost oil out of one of the seals, and then it burnt up the bearing, because you can see the hot spot here. So I think what happened was it burnt up the bearing. That may have been the first time or this time. I'm not sure. This time it sure did get hot, I'm sure, but we're gonna see how bad that race is. Pop this seal out and give this a good cleaning and start going back together, because I pre-ordered all the parts. So it was definitely this side, and looks like it ate through a little bit on our shaft there, but nothing real major. So we're gonna knock this bearing out here and seal out. Bearing and seal come out of there. There's our seal. This bearing on this side of the pinion looked good. The seal looks good. This ring goes up here. We'll see what that race doesn't look like it's driven all the way in. Either that race moved on the inside, or it wasn't all the way in. If I drove that race out with the seal, that's, yeah. I drove that race out with the seal, so it might have been all the way in, might not have, not sure yet. But there was no shims on that side at all. I'm curious where it actually shimmed this at. So I know we have to have some sort of pinion preload. See how this side comes out. Probably jacked because the race is so whacked up. There's probably shims in here, but haven't seen the old-time welder yet this morning. Yeah. Oh, buddy. I don't know, this whole housing might be... We'll have to see what this housing looks like eventually here. So here's the only problem I see. We definitely are pinion 8 into this casting. And there's a little bit of marks up here on this surface. So we got to check our depth. We're going to check our depth and make sure that we're not crazy different. But it's going to be hard to check our depth because we don't have really anything solid to go off of on this bottom side. So in all reality, we may just end up putting it in there, and then when we get our pinion, make sure our pinion's going straight. Because I just want to make sure it's seated right. If not, I don't want to order this whole housing, that's for sure. That would make things a little more pricey. But if that gets it done right, it gets it done right. So we'll see if I can save this housing. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. So we'll go from there. All right. We are back working on this Massey Ferguson front axle. And it's been a few days. I've got some parts in. I got the ring and pinion all set. Super shout out to AgTech 45 for that flag right there. Hung it up right above the old toolbox in the shop. The old time welder has to look at that every time he walks in. Anyway, the reason I'm tearing apart this side, I was going to tear them apart anyway to flush them, make sure all the bearings look good and all that stuff, because I thought the ring and pinion just grenaded and we were all going to be set with that. So the ring and pinion's done, back in the housing, and I was just going to reseal these and flush them out and make sure all the bearings and confirm it was all good. Well, I started pulling her apart, and we had bearings come apart in 2. Customer said it would just kind of quit all of a sudden, so the pinion kind of led me that direction. But this housing in here is all eaten up like crazy. There is metal everywhere. I'm questioning the bearings in the planetary, the gears in the planetary. I'm questioning everything right now, but I can't get a good quote until I tear the other side apart and go through this, because we're probably going to need this whole housing, and this whole shaft, this shaft right down here is just junk. It's just eaten up so bad it ain't never going to hold a bearing again. So this whole hub's going to have to be changed. We might be able to save this, might be able to save the planetaries, the housing, but not the bearings. I don't know about the gears yet. I got to take a look at those. This bearing down here, you can't see where my hand is at. This bearing down here on this drop shaft, that's got to be replaced. The gears I don't know about yet. I gotta really look at them closely, but there's just glitter everywhere on this thing. So I'm gonna get myself a pair of gloves on. We're gonna tear apart this other side. I'm gonna do that on camera. I really didn't think resealing these was too interesting for anybody, but I believe there was some, whoa! I believe that there was some, stuff that was going on with it. So I think somebody's definitely had it apart before. So I don't know what the whole story is on it, but you can see this cap was siliconed in, and there's silicone markings everywhere. So somebody had this apart before. So I'm really kind of questioning everything at this point. So we're gonna get this apart, and we're gonna see what we can do. So here we go. First is your steering. It's got it. Tell you what, this new Milwaukee half-inch impact sure is nice for all sorts of jobs I've been doing. I pulled a swing gear. I don't have nothing on camera because I was at a customer's place and I didn't know, whatever. Anyway, I'm doing a swing gear on a Samsung SE130 excavator. It's an LC-2. But anyway, that doesn't really make a difference. But it, I went out there and I had, I used this to pull the whole swing gear, and it's only down one bar, so it's kind of cool. Anyway, getting this off can be kind of tricky. I'm gonna go grab a pry bar quick. Anyway, so I said I was gonna put a pair of gloves on, and now I actually am. So we're gonna get this apart. The tough part is right here, it wants to stick on these dowels. Then there's a little bit of suction that happens on that grease up there on the last one. So anyway, it pops right out nice and easy. It's not, but see that, it's got like a vacuum on it from the grease. Bet you if I pulled that grease fitting, it would pop right out nicely, but we'll overcome that vacuum. I ain't too worried about it. Oh man, see? It's like a, now just overcome the vacuum. Okay. Steering knuckle is off. We're good to go there. Now we gotta get this off. Wait, that was a 13. Now that was a 12. Rip this off here. All right, I got all the bolts off of that. Take our pry bar. They used some wild silicone there, that's for sure. So we're gonna get this off. Silicone's a little tight. Come back when I get it off. That way you're not watching just me. Okay, I got it to pop off. Comes out. Stick that back in there. It's good. There's a snap ring here. I gotta grab the seal pick for this side. With the snap ring, and then this comes out the end. So we'll get this out real quick here. There's also another snap ring you gotta pull. There's actually 3 snap rings by the time you're done. 3 or 4 or something like that. There's another one in here, but that side gear will come out afterwards. So I used I actually used this, and it worked last time. But I don't know if it'll work this time or not. So we gotta get a pick. I'll get this out, and then we'll go from there. I don't know if they reuse these seals down here or what the story is, why you put this much silicone in them. I mean, they don't feel like they're in there that tight, and maybe it's because they reused them. I don't know, but I'm sure not going to reuse them. That's for sure. I'll order new ones because it's not worth it. I mean, I spend a little extra time digging them out like this rather than just drilling a hole and popping them. Yeah, but they come out. The other one came out pretty easy actually. So that's, I don't know if it's a fitment issue with what they did or what it is, but like I said, see how that one was almost right out. But my pick has been, that pick has seen better days, that's for sure. And it might be because it's still held by this dang silicone around this thing. Come on. There we go. There it goes. See? Now the other one I pulled apart, once I pulled this cap off, I had all sorts of metal down here. This one, not quite yet. So there's a snap ring. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But come on, baby. Work with me. Uh-oh. Phone's ringing. Better answer this. Alright, so we have the, sorry, we pulled the snap ring off of here, and then we tapped the shaft out the bottom because there's 2 snap rings here. There's one that holds the bearing onto the shaft, and there's one that holds the bearing in the housing on the bottom of here. So, that being said, this should come out. There it is. And remember, the smaller bearing went down on the bottom, and there's a side gear here that actually runs it. But now, we can actually, the last one I pulled this bearing out. This one, just gonna take it out. And this is the seal that, this is a pain in the butt seal right here. It's not too bad to get out, but it definitely, you're definitely not going to save it, that's for sure. And it's almost a 2 pry bar. There. So it's out. Now there's a space, there's a bearing that goes in here, and there's a little lip. See, that's where the rides. It's like a thrust bearing. So there's that, and then there's this. So that's your thrust bearing. Far less metal in this one. This one may actually be okay, but I gotta confirm it. So now we can take out our, there's also a bronze bushing right here. That's like your, I would call it almost like a kingpin bushing. But it's bronze, sits here, that's what holds your weight. So now we're gonna take off this here. The only thing I don't like about this whole setup here is they don't give you any access to get through there to take that off with any sort of anything but a wrench. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. And I think to replace these, if you ever had to replace your wheel studs, you'd have to pull this all the way apart to do that. So we're going to see how tight this one is. The last one was super tight, and it was a pain in the butt to get out. Oh look, this one's loose. That's awesome. That one was absolutely loose. I'll tell you what, I don't know who was messing with this last, but actually that oil looks pretty darn good. So I'm gonna get the hammer and tap them off and grab something to soak up that real quick here. We're gonna set this down, I guess. This pig mat. These are pretty nice to have. Gotta get some more of those, but I'll order them sometime. All right, sounds good. I'll be back and I'll get them all off. Some of these you can hit with your hand, not too bad. Definitely should have drained the oil, I guess. Okay, now they're all loose. Their sockets have a little big. Grab another one of those little mats. Set that down. Now we'll go to our gear wrench, ratcheting wrench here, and we'll start pulling these all out. I'm not going to make you sit through me pulling all these bolts out, but oh, it's been tough to get footage. Last night I had a customer call me, had a 35G John Deere excavator, little excavator, nothing huge, but they had a blown hose, and it was actually the boom down hose, runs under the cab, and I try to help out as many people as I can with it. He was probably an hour away from me, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, I don't know, something like that. And I could have, I was working on this and trying to get it wrapped up and pulled apart, and we're going to reseal these. So I was ready to go back together once I get the seals, but they, I talked to him, and well, Mr. One Mechanic just texted me, old Dave. He sent me a picture. Oh boy, look out. That's pretty phenomenal, Dave. I'm not gonna lie. I can't let the cat out of the bag, but I'm not gonna lie. He sent me a photo of something that I think you guys are really gonna like. So check out Dave One Mechanic. Who else was I talking to the other day? Oh, I was talking to Kentucky Tech the other day. He's got pretty good stuff coming out. Old Will, or Durf_Co, I think is his channel name. He's pretty good dude. He had a video the other day of his truck. He was going through his old Silverado there, and had some pretty good content. I tell you what, I like it when people can have fun with their channel, kind of like I do. The other person I was watching the other day was I do like Warren from Western Truck and Tractor. He's got some good stuff. You know, he's always keeps it interesting. Definitely with technical repairs, stuff like that. That's the type of stuff. It's either entertaining or informational are the two types of videos that I watch a lot of. So I don't know. I try to do both on here a little bit with some tool hauls. I know most people, you know, these videos don't get the views like a tool haul for sure, but you know, is it really all about the money and all about the views and all about that stuff? Not really for me. It's more about growing the channel to something that's, you know, someday going to be a reference to somebody or something like that. You know, like these videos here, I want to be able to have something like this, so if somebody does have one of these tractors and they have a front end issue, either A, they know why it's going to cost them that much to have it done at a dealer or an independent shop or whatever, or if they're mechanically inclined enough to do it themselves. You know, that's really what it's all about. And like I was talking about yesterday, that customer called me, and you know, he could have changed that hose himself, but at the end of the day, he's like, you know what? It's not worth it. I'll just have you do it. You'll have all your tools. I'm not going to be fighting it for hours upon hours. And you know, last night, I don't know, what was it, 7, 8 o'clock at night, something like that. I got done with it, and he's back on the job today, you know, and he can go work a full day. I don't want to do that all the time though, man. You know, like it's kind of wild. What else I go out? Oh, I went out on a Doosan the other day. That was pretty interesting. I've never actually worked on a Doosan before. I don't know what to think about them yet. Getting in the code and the monitor, there's not a lot out there on them. I've probably done a little video on that. But that was interesting. The customer there, you know, he's, you know, he definitely, I looked in the monitor, found a code for a I wonder if they added super glue with their silicone in this thing, because they definitely, either that or those dowel pins are, we're starting to get some movement here. This one's a little tighter. I don't like it when that goop comes out like that. Something like this, I had to use an anaerobic. That's what I used on the front axle. I'm actually kind of getting away from the silicone type sealants. I think the anaerobic is a little bit better, to tell you the truth. So let's see what we got here. This one. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on out of there. There she goes. Oh, yeah, look at that. So that is what it's supposed to look like. Holy cow, look, we have a bearing. And we don't have a bunch of glitter. Look at that. Oh, how nice is that? Oh, that bearing actually is almost pressed on there. Well, I think the main catastrophic thing is, if you look here, you know, but if you look in here on my finger there, see all that glitter? There's definitely metal that went through this. So I want to disassemble all this. I need to assemble it and definitely take care of all that metal, get rid of it, clean it up, put it back together. I'll bring you along for the ride on that. Maybe not this video, maybe the next video. We'll see when I get parts. I'll probably put this one out there, but I'll show you the catastrophic side of it. But I don't know if, I mean, I should probably take this all the way down just to be sure, which I will. I mean, before I order parts is what I guess I was getting at. If I take it down before I order parts. So, come on, baby. Come on. Come on now. Get on out of there. There she goes. Like a champ. Yeah, so see, that bearing goes in there nice. This sits in there. Now we have these two bearings here. It looks like there's a little metal in them, but it doesn't look like they're that horrible. There's a thrust washer that I don't know if that thrust washer was even on that other one, to tell you the truth. And then this came apart hard last time. So, well, I got a phone call coming in here. So I will catch you in a minute. Alright, this is what I wanted to show you quick, is inside here there's a little ring that you have to pull out. So it's almost like a thrust washer ring type of deal, but right there. So that pops out, and then there's a snap ring that's a two-piece snap ring, like, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to get out of there, but that's what holds this whole thing together, is this ring goes around the outside of that two-piece ring. So that comes out. Then you might not be able to see this, but there's these two little rings here that I'm going to get out. It's like, basically it's a round piece of steel that's right there. So these two rings sit in there. That ring, and then this ring sit in there like that, and this is actually comes over the top and holds that ring together, and that's all that holds this shaft in this housing, is that little ring that sits in there. So keep that in mind. That took me a little bit to figure out. I didn't know if it was like a push down spring set thing or what, but it was definitely that ring like that. So now this planetary gear should come out, and should be able to go from there. Yeah, this one came out nicely. The other one did not come out nice at all. So next thing you got to remember is there is a second ring that sits in the bottom of that, and there's a taper on it. The taper went down and the flat went up, so keep that in mind. And this one here is a straight ring. It's non-directional. So there's that. The next thing you got to remember is this bearing. Well, this bearing came out this way. The other bearing came out the other way, but this bearing has got a spacer, and these planetary gears, the actual shaft is held in by that spacer. So this is actually looking really good right now. I don't see any real issues with this one at all, other than I'm going to have to replace that seal, which that's going to have to be ordered, and the rest looks like this one I can clean up. The other one, not so much. This is what I was hoping for both of them to look like, but I'm sure everybody involved was hoping for that. But we got to go to the other one. We're going to order some parts. I got to order this seal. This seal I already, these seals are ordered. I'm going to order the bottom seal here, which I don't know if I ordered that or not. I'm going to have to double check my order. It might come in today, actually. So I got to double check those, and then the rest, the other one is going to be kind of crazy with parts. So I'm going to clean that one up and double check everything. But this one looks in very good shape, and that's where that concave, that's the concave part where that round roll, I'd call it like a snap ring, but it's not really, it's a two-piece ring, sits in right there. So we're back on this, I got all my parts in, and I started assembling this side that was good. The other side that was grenaded we haven't done yet, but I got that snap ring in. You'll see that ring, I don't know, so there's a gap there, but that outer ring holds it in. That's what holds it in. I put the new seal in down here at the bottom already. There's the old one. Pretty full of dirt, the old one was, but not really causing a leak yet. So we're gonna keep cleaning up, keep going back together, and we'll go from there. But I wanted to stop and double check. I'll let you know again about that ring, because that is super important. Make sure it gets in there right. That's the only thing that holds your wheel on, that shaft and the wheel housing.
I'm here at the shop trying to make the heavy wrench start to work. You know, that is a big time job, but he needs to get this project done that he started like 3 weeks ago. Finally got his parts today. Maybe we'll get it completed and installed by the weekend, and the old time welder can have a payday.
It's Friday. How's it going to be done by the weekend?
Well,
and installed
tomorrow is another day. There is 7 days in a work week for people that are on their own and have their own businesses. That is a 7-day work week. So basically, you need to get your bottom side to work.
Wow.
And quit playing games. I'm tired of having come in here and my shop's a disaster. Just take a scan of my shop. Not much
let's
of
just
mine.
take a scan of the
The only
shop
thing that's mine is this
the pellet
sack of seeds I'm sitting on.
Pellet seed. Oh wait, there's a tire for him over there. Some jack stands. I blew the tire. Yep, that's it. Anyway, I just got this one assembled. That's all set. We got a whole bunch of new parts here. This hub assembly came together because this shaft was worn. These gears were eaten up pretty good, so were the bearings inside. And by the time we bought the shaft and this housing, it was 3/4 of the price of all of it. So we bought the whole assembly. Also, we have this new housing right here. Oh, look, we actually have a bearing surface. Isn't that going to be nice? So we're going to get to assembling this one, and we should be good to go. So let's get after it. There's a lot of studs and stuff I have to remove and install in here, but we got new parts. So well, we got a thrust washer on there. Now we're going to put our bearing on. Seat it down. Now this will end up going in right in here. So coffee's almost ready. I got to finish cleaning up some parts. I probably shouldn't even freaking turn on the camera for this part, but that's okay. We'll get her. We'll get her. We got to get this bearing, this thrust, this. The upper bearings were fine. Or I got the shaft in the upper bearing are over there, so I'll get that stuff and we will go from there. So let me get that stuff cleaned up, come over here. But this is assembled. All I had to do when you order this assembly here, you have to have the thrust washer, this bearing, and this outer gear all have to be ordered as well, separately. So this bearing's separate, the outer gear, and that little ring that's inside there did not come on this hub. So it's not completely assembled. It's not a complete assembly. There's a couple parts that don't come with it, so keep that in mind when you order it. That ring was still good, and that other snap ring holder, that was all good. It was fine. So we could reuse that, but we'll go from there. I got the new seal here. It does come assembled up to this point right here. So you have two bearings that are in there, the thrust washer, and this outer bearing, and this gear that don't come with it. So, and the little snap rings inside. So that's that. This housing doesn't come with any studs.
those are all cleaned up. I gotta finish wire wheeling these off real quick. And then I'll get these studs in. Use my favorite stud extractor, a little pipe wrench. The dowels didn't come with it either, so I'm gonna clean these up, clean that stuff up, and we'll go from there. I have a little cup of coffee here. Gotta have a little cup of coffee coming back after cleaning these parts. You can get one of those mugs on the merchandise site. Whoa, shout out to myself like a bum. Anyway, this goes like this. So this gear goes on from the bottom. It kind of goes tight. Yeah, that should be fine. So this gear goes in like this, right there. Okay. And then we have this bearing that actually goes on here. That was kind of a press fit to get off. So I'm betting it's going to be a press fit to get on. I'm going to head over to use the arbor press real quick. You know, the problem is I get going on this stuff and then I just forget to hit record, or I forget to yada yada. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one of those things that's bad about this is because you get a phone call and now I've got everything assembled up here and I'm didn't really get to show you anything. It sucks. A little disappointed in myself, to be honest with you, with that, but that's okay. We'll make it through it. I hope you don't hit the thumbs down on me for that. That would be bad. But we'll head over there and look at the carnage in a little bit. Well, I had to grab the other dowel out of the other housing there, but I got my studs all in, everything all set there, so that's good. Now this is all cleaned up. We got to do a little brake clean action with the rag. Stripper glitter everywhere. Horrible. Let me get a fresh pair of gloves. You'd have thought there was 100 strippers in this housing. As much glitter as there is. There's probably still going to be glitter on my hands because as soon as you touch something, one thing is all it takes. And there's that metal everywhere. Everywhere. So we're going to get this housing cleaned up. I've been using anaerobic sealant on these. I like anaerobic sealant for these metal-to-metal flanges myself. Better than silicone, better than a lot of things actually. I feel like it does a nice job. I've used the Permatex. Right now I'm using this Loctite 515. I tell you what, my list of sponsors is very short. And the number one sponsor is you guys for subscribing to the channel and doing that stuff. And I totally appreciate that wholeheartedly. I definitely enjoy doing what I do. You know, between that and just what I do for work here is what keeps this channel going. And you know, it's fun for me. I've met a lot of really cool people. I've seen a lot of cool people that gotten a chance to chat with and whatever else, and it's been pretty awesome. The live streams, I like that. That's interacting with you guys quite heavily. It's pretty awesome. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see me actually set this on there or not. So there's a bearing right here that's got to go in this housing just perfect. And the last one worked out just fine. No worries on that. And this one should do the same. But as soon as we get our dowels figured out here, because we have 3 in a row, which is right up there. So it's actually going to sit just like that. So we'll set this up in here. We'll get this squared away. Oh yeah, look at that. Dropped right in. Squeeze it tight. Now we'll set it down. Oh, these things are heavy. Probably be better. I don't know what the best route is. If you were to leave it on the tractor, or leave it on the axle, or have it like this. I guess it's 6 one way, half dozen another at this point. But the other guy, whoever did this last time, look at all of that silicone on there. It's just caked. There's no need for that. And I don't know where this machine come from or who did it. It could have been not in my state. I'm almost certain it wasn't in my state. So, I mean, I'm not trying to dog on anybody, but Jesus. The amount of silicone that was on this one that was put together the first time, or whatever, maybe it's factory. There's no way that could be factory, that much silicone. It was oozing out of everywhere. So I don't know if somebody just did a poor job putting her together last time, and that's what grenaded everything, or what, but we've got our backlash set on our ring and pinion. This is all straightened out, new, good to go. And I don't know, maybe, I don't know what was taken apart last time, to tell you the truth, and what was done to this thing, because somebody's been in here. But I know one thing, it's right, it's gonna be right now, because the old time welder did most of the work. Didn't ya? He's like, no way. I didn't do nothing. The oversight committee's still here for the day for a few more minutes. We'll be jetting here shortly.
I'm awful busy.
He's awful busy. He ain't got time to BS with anybody. Especially me. But he's trying to get something. He's making an awful lot of noise over there, isn't he? Good Lord.
I can't find my damn pin. Where'd you do the bolt that went up?
What pin?
For the trailer hitch.
Oh, I don't know.
I want a new one. Now I don't see it.
Just get one of them clip pins. One of those clipping pins. Like a linch pin. There's a linch pin right there. There's a small linch pin right here. You'll see, won't you? He's just coming in to terrorize stuff. That's all he's doing. Anyway. No, I don't know what the heck the guy last did on this thing, because it was definitely, who knows, right? That pinion, it was all hot on the bottom, paint was all wore off of it, so you know this thing got hot at some point. And I don't think the customer that I have now, they bought it not that long ago, so it's not like they ran out of oil or anything. And it was full of oil when I took it apart. That's the worst. It's the worst deal is I don't get any of the, I'm not getting any of the story. There's always a story behind every failure, right? And until you figure out that story, you don't know what actually happened, right? So you got to be kind of a detective while you're doing this stuff too. Look at everything and see what happens. So, I don't know. But you all know what I'm talking about, maybe. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're a first-time subscriber going, who is this jackass. Just doing a repair on this Massey Ferguson tractor, right? But eventually you'll come to learn that I'm not a horrible guy. No, I enjoy this YouTube stuff. It's been a lot of fun for me. And someday I'm hoping to have a lot of subscribers and you know, a good group of people and networking and all that stuff, because that's what it's all about for me at this point. It's just you know, having a good network of people, and you know, it's actually, we have a great group of people, and I think it can only get better, you know, in my mind. There's always bad with the good, but yeah, whatever. I guess I've jabber-jawed enough on this deal. Let's get back to watching this stuff and trying to get everything snugged up here. And if I get this tight, the bottom seal is the only thing I have left to put in, and we'll be good to go. Ratchet this the right way. Snug this up on that side. Check. I'd like to get one on that side. If you can, flop this baby up. All right. There we go. Oh, we're right here, across from it. So we've done that one, that one. The worst part is you can't even use the ratcheting wrench on this thing. Whoever designed this housing and this hub is, well, what can I say? They, yet to be desired, right? Like, it's not, this was not the sweetest design of an axle in my mind. Would have been nice if you could have, you know, actually put a socket and a ratchet. Maybe I could fit a 1/4-inch drive shallow wall down there, but 1/4-inch drive for a 14mm head? Come on now. I don't know, maybe automotive guys that are watching this are like, yeah, jackwagon. I reckon that's what you do. They don't give you room. You know? But, I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see. Leave it in the comments below what you think, I guess. At least then I know where you're coming from. If you leave 10 comments, I don't care. It's awesome. It's great. The more comments, the better. If you stop and throughout the video and leave a comment on what you think at that point and then change your mind or whatever, just leave another comment. Don't worry about it. Comment up that section. I try to read all the comments. I actually do read all of the comments at this point. If I miss some and don't respond, it's not in any way, shape, or form to be offensive. I just, like right now, I don't think I responded to the last, well, there's a video that dropped last night, and that one I haven't responded to at all yet. And then I got one that dropped, there's been a couple comments that I've seen on there this morning, but I haven't had time. I've just been trying to do this and trying to get content back out. I had a little couple weeks there that didn't really get much out, and it's all my fault, not any real reason, just I didn't have time to edit it. So right now I've got one uploaded and live, and then one ready to go. So I might, I don't know, I don't want to drop them too close to each other. I mean, what do you guys think? When I get them done, should I drop them and then have a pause, or what are your thoughts on it? Like, I'd like to do a video a week, or two possibly, but it's the time. It's that time of getting all that stuff together and then sitting down and doing the editing when I'm trying to, you know, get the billing done for the business and all that other stuff. But this hub, oh, she sounds dry. All them gears. So basically, in this final drive, you've got a gear going this way, a set of planetaries, a gear going this way, and then it goes up the shaft and then out the outer. So there's a lot of gearing in here that happens. And it seems like it's pretty much no factor on that. So we're good. We are ready to go back together. This job is complete. I don't know if I can take any video out of the customer's place or not. Really don't know if I can there or not, but they will let me know. But my anaerobic is nice, and you see there's not a whole lot of gob and goob on there. That's what I like about it, is you can keep it clean. But this thing should be all set to go. I got to add oil when I get out there and all said and done, and we'll go from there. But it looks like the level plug is actually right here, and the drain plug's down here. So we're gonna put this thing on and see what. Yeah, I wish I had those nuts here. I left the nuts for the axle at the tractor. I was hoping to fill it up here, but we don't have to. I might take a couple nuts just to put it together, and then when I get out there, I'll do it all. So should be good. We're done with this this axle build. I'll put it back together. I might throw that on camera, might not. I'm not sure yet. We will definitely see what happens. So we got a couple pipe plugs. These got to go in here and here. And yeah, I'll get the main housing out. I'll put that together, and then this thing will be ready to go. The right side is done. All right, I'm gonna put this together. We'll see what happens. That's it. I think I'm gonna order the parts. I'm gonna call this video a wrap for today, and for whatever reason, and we're gonna see if we can't get this one uploaded. But I'm gonna be ordering some parts later and going from there. So you guys have a great day, and I appreciate the views. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Merchandise, theheavywrench.com. If you want to, don't feel like you have to. It's one of those things. So I appreciate it. May your wrenches never slip, and keep that iron moving. Oh, anything the old time welder wants to say today?
Not today.
Let's see. Here's the
We're
old
just trying to get the heavy wrench to do some more work. That's all.
What kind of work do you need me to do?
I'm gonna put a hanger in my muffler.
When are we gonna do this welding 101 video?
Well,
Show off one of your welders?
show off one of my welders.
Which welder are you gonna see?
Oh, I don't know. There's my little SP 175 Plus right here. This is my handy dandy machine. This is one of my go-to favorites right here. They don't even make this one anymore. But that one there I bought, God, maybe 20 years ago. But it's been a good one. I use her on a lot of stuff. I actually skinned a dozer blade with this little machine one day. I skinned the whole goddamn dozer blade. That's a good.
A couple big ones up there.
Yeah, my bigger ones are up there.
Up there, and
There's my SP200. I got two of those. Then my first welder I ever bought, that one on the left right there. And then I got my plasma cutter sneaking way underneath there. That's my plasma cutter. There was a grinder that Phil built when he was a kid.
yep, put that baby together.
Yeah.
That's a nasty one there.
Yeah, that one will hog some material. You can take a 1/2-inch piece of steel and just cut it right on down. She's a good one. Yep. I made that one out of an old silo unloader motor. And I had a stand and that little piece the guy gave me. And then I had Phil make the framework on it. It was about 13, 14, I guess he was. But I always keep that one in the shop. That's my heavy grinder. I do a lot of work with that one.
All right, well, I guess that's about it for the video. You got a little old time welder at the end.
That's it.
So have a good one. Thanks for watching.